Independent, local, produced by Homeslice.
It's Real Rock 100.3, The Fox, and you're listening to Buffalo Chip Radio. And I'm so excited because when you think of the most powerful voices in modern rock, Lzzy Hale is at the top of that list for me. Of course, she's a Grammy winner, one of the most respected front women in rock. And next month, she'll be bringing Halestorm to the legendary Buffalo Chip during the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Lzzy, it's so great to have you on the show. How are you?
Ooh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for taking the time for me today. I am stoked about Sturgis. We've only done this once before, and this was years ago. We opened up for ZZ Top and had our full Sturgis experience that time, and so I'm looking forward to this second trip and the shenanigans that inevitably will follow. Yes.
Yeah, 100%. And that's funny because like that. Buffalo Chip said you guys played about 10 years ago, and now obviously the Buffalo Chip is it's a whole nother animal because you played Rapid City before too a few times.
Oh yeah,
at our arena, and so it's a completely different animal. What is it about playing during the rally week with tens of thousands bikers from all around the world that gets you just really excited as a performer?
Though these types of events excite me because it's all of these walks of life and they're all coming together, with the common reasons. And it's kind of like, I feel like most people that come out here are saying, okay, it's almost like you go to Vegas, like what happens in Sturgis stays in Sturgis. And so anything goes. And so it's like, we can never really predict what's going to happen. But one of the coolest things last time in our experience, so like we're walking around the grounds during the day, and there were these guys in go-karts that had like just these girls hanging on them and that were wearing almost nothing. I believe there was one woman who she decided that her shirt was just basically, you went to Home Depot and you dipped a brush in some paint, that was the top. That was the shirt she decided. And so like that was like right when we got there, we're like, okay, if that's the bar, where is this going to go? And it was so cool. We got on stage and all, playing the Buffalo Chip, and all these bikers kind of park up, and instead of clapping after a song, everyone's revving their engines. So our sound guy is so funny. He's like, I think you sounded good. I don't know. All I could hear was the bikes.
Right.
And then after the show, we decided to sneak into the campgrounds and see if we could get into trouble with that. And that was awesome because we were like, this was one of those things where we all kind of said in our mind, like, we're here. We opened up for for ZZ Top. Maybe some people will recognize us, but we're safe. It's fine. We're like, we're just gonna wander around and see what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like everybody kind of came out of the bushes. It was like brains, just like zombie like closing in. And we found this little hut, right, that they were kind of like selling beers at. And so all these people start coming up to us. It was getting like a little like just kind of pandemonium. And my guitar player Joe stands up and he's like, I'm buying beers for everybody. We bought like a case of beer. We set it out in front of everybody, and while they're all scrambling for the beer, we're like, all right, see you later. We got it off there. We were hanging out with Dee Snider was hanging out. It was just an epic night. So to return to the Buffalo Chip and to be playing with Lainey Wilson, which is a first for us. I think it's going to be epic again.
That's actually leads into my next question, because one thing that the Buffalo Chip loves to do is to kind of mix genres on the same night. So it's like rock, country, and the year you're sharing the stage with Lainey Wilson, who's one of the most decorative women in country music, of course.
Yes.
And as a rock band that's collaborated across genres throughout your career, what excites you about a lineup like that, getting to open up for somebody as legendary as Lainey Wilson?
It's a complete honor. And also I'm looking forward to being absolutely inspired because, anytime, especially as a woman in this business, anytime that I get to, share a stage with someone that is doing the thing and doing their thing and doing it well, it doesn't matter what genre it is, that I always kind of come away being like, ooh, what about this? All the crazy ideas. But also I'm really looking forward to performing for her audience, because one thing I've noticed, and we've done this before with country artists. We went out on tour years ago with Eric Church and Dwight Yoakam, and we've done some stuff with Brooks and Dunn. And what I realized that in the country scene is that all the country guys, there's such a tremendous respect for rock and roll, even if
Hmm.
that's not necessarily what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to winning over some cowboy hats.
Which I'm sure you will. You'll have no problem. Speaking of the fans, of course, the last time you were in Rapid City, I don't know if you remember this, but one of my buddies, we were at the meet and greet, and he actually works for another competing radio station here locally. He got down on one knee and proposed to you, I think with like a ring pop or something. It was hilarious. It was made for a pretty unforgettable photo. You guys have
I do remember that.
some of the most passionate fans anywhere. What's the craziest or most memorable fan moment that you maybe ever happened during a show or after a show? I mean, the one that you just talked about at the Buffalo Chip Bikini Beach is probably up there too. But is there something that kind of just jumps out at you?
There've been a lot of interesting things. First of all, I do hold the record for most boobs signed, which I'm very proud of.
That's
You know,
rad.
yeah, for in our band, yeah, we have a small competition going on. But I mean, there were ripped off boxers that got thrown on stage
Oh
at
no.
me. It was funny because it's like, I mean, I've gotten the bras before from girls because girls are crazy and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But this was the first time that I had gotten boxer shorts, and there ended up, I think, being three total because one guy did it, and but nobody would admit to it. I'm like holding up the boxers, and they've literally been like ripped off like with a key or something. Just had to do it, but nobody would admit to it. And then it happened again in the show because, like, I guess another guy was inspired by the
Right,
first
right.
anonymous dude, and I'm like, this is insane. I don't remember like hearing that this was a thing. So there's that stuff. Also some fantastic fan gifts. I have a sculpture made entirely of acrylic fingernails
Oh wow.
that I got from a fan. A golden pacifier for adults, which I have not used, but I do keep in a memory
Sure.
box just for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sake of it. Um, like just crazy stuff. There's like, and so there's especially like in the meet and greets, and when you have amazing fans like ours that will come to like 8 shows in a row or 10 shows in a row and you see them every
Yeah.
day. um like for me, the coolest thing that happens is I get letters, like actual handwritten letters from people, and they'll hand to me, they're telling me their story. Like it's just, that's on like the beautiful part of it.
Right.
And that's something that when I was 13 and we started this band, I would have never even thought
Sure.
anybody would care that much to be like, hey, let me let you into my life. And so that's been super inspirational too. And yeah, and like, small things like you there's a beautiful spectrum of fandemonium. You get the people that are like, oh, I just buy the merch and then come to the tickets, you come to the show, get the tickets. And then you have the other side where it's like, hey, I have a shrine of you in my house, let me show you pictures.
Yeah,
you know
right, right,
it's
right.
it's it's pretty fantastic. It's one of those things that you don't think is going to be a part of your life, and then it is, and you're like, this is like a really awesome gift in itself. So
Really, I agree with you 100%. It's awesome how many people you've impacted over your career for sure. When you hit the Buffalo Chip, it'll be just over a year since Everest came out. Looking back, how is it that that album changed or evolved once you've been able to play those songs live? And are you guys writing or thinking about what's to come next for Halestorm as far as new music goes?
absolutely. I mean, the response to Everest is ever growing. I'm always kind of surprised uh, at the people that will come to the shows and they have like an entire verse of one of the songs tattooed on their arm, or people really making these songs theirs. It was nerve wracking for me, as the yeah, for some reason the guys still trust me with words in this band and I still don't understand why. But the lyricist in this band, it was nerve wracking to make this record because I decided that I was going to be as honest as humanly possible. And that was scary for me. And the craziest thing that happened with this album is that, even more so than our previous records, there are so many people that are coming up to me and saying, this is what I needed to say. And I didn't know how to say it, but you said it in your song, and so this is about me.
Yeah.
And I've just gotten more of that on this album cycle, and I think that the moral of the story is that when you decide to be real and not advertise at people like you think you know what they're going to hear, but really use music as a way to figure out your own messy puzzle pieces in your head.
Yeah.
You get a deeper connection with the people that listen to you because and I guess I can reverse this as a fan of music. When I look at someone, I don't want to look at them like, oh my God, that's so out of my reach. They're such a perfect person. They're putting themselves up on a pedestal. They're hiding
Yeah.
behind the veil. When I
Yeah.
see someone like that I really admire be human and, admit to whatever they're going through, it makes me say, oh, I not only do I want to be this person, but I am this person. They're just like me. And so, yeah, that's what I've kind of learned on this album cycle. As far as new music goes, we're constantly putting ideas together and collecting things and putting things down in the studio. So we're in that mode where I'm starting to get that feeling again, like, okay, what's
Yeah.
next? What else is happening? What's going to be the next chapter? So I'm dipping my toe in the waters and trying to let the music tell me what to do.
Sure.
Because the best laid plans, I can be like, I know what I want to do. And then like halfway through the writing process, be like, oh yeah, no, that's not what this wants to be. so so yeah, we're in that mode now, but it's exciting. Everything's really cool. We're going out with Baby Metal in September, which will be
That's
fun.
rad. Hell
We've
yeah.
never been yeah, we've never been out with those guys and we've known of them for years. And so that'll be another fun one. Be like, all right, um, because I'm sure that just because of there are similar circles with us and Baby Metal. I'm sure a lot of people coming to see the show will have heard of us, but I don't know how many people have actually seen us. So this will be one of those proving grounds, like try to
For
get them
sure.
within the first two songs, kind of
Hell
thing.
yeah.
So
I love it. I love it. And touching on like musical is just such a universal language. And me as a fan of music too, and being able to, because sometimes I have a hard time putting thoughts into words myself. And like there's always that one song that allows you to do that in a way. And you can like, here, I'm just going to put this song for you because I can't really articulate what I'm meaning, but here's that
yeah,
song for you. So I can totally relate to that for sure. I got a couple questions for you left. And then we'll get you on here. I really appreciate the time. This one's
of
kind of for the
course.
writers, and we kind of touched on the rally crowd being really unique. And I've talked to many artists who played at the Buffalo Chip, and they always mention the roaring of the bikes instead of applause and stuff like that. A lot of people spend all year looking forward to those 10 days because it represents the freedom, adventure, and
Mm.
being with lifelong friends that maybe you only get to see during that time of year. Is there a Hailstorm song at the top of your head that you think perfectly captures that spirit? That's a hard one.
That is a hard one. I want to say, just off the top of my head, there's two. Well, there's one specifically about driving called "Don't Know How to Stop," but also our song "I Like It Heavy" I think is one of those two where it's just kind of what I love about bikers is that they decide to be unapologetically themselves, and in a lot of ways, your buddies that all ride, it's like being in a band, and being in a
Yeah.
band is like being in a gang, and you got your people that understand you, and you get to have adventures together and go to events and go see some music. And so that's something that I really connect to. I always feel bad because I have an affinity for leather jackets, but I've never owned a motorcycle. Um, but biker bars are my favorite places to be on tour. So like we'll go and like seek out like just kind of the dirty hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And I get into the coolest conversations with the guys who ride, but always they kind of come up to me and they're like tugging on my jacket, be like, "Hey, which one's yours?" And I'm like, "I'm
I
sorry,
don't I don't have one.
I'm
Hey,
such a poser, but
just
I'm
to
in a
throw
rock band, so."
yeah. Just to throw this out there, though, South Dakota has one of the best motorcycle classes in the country. If you ever want to come and take a weekend
Well,
and just get your license, it's rather easy. Well, it's not easy, but they make it really easy for you. So you should totally come up.
well, I didn't know that I had some space in my bucket list to kind of write some new adventures down, but I'm gonna have to take you up on that actually.
For
That'd be fun.
sure. One last question for you. We'll get you on your way. Finish this sentence. It's actually, I guess it's not really a question, but when Hailstorm walks off the Buffalo Chip stage, I hope people leave with what feeling?
Mm. Um, I hope that people leave the Buffalo Chip after our set and feel like I hope that they're inspired
Yeah.
to just be themselves and live their truest life. And I want to say not just inspired, but just like I hope we reaffirm that whatever individually you guys are going through in your life, that you're going to be okay and you're all right. You know, it's like
Yeah.
we're all here together. We're all in this messy, like on this messy spinning rock together.
Right.
So I hope that there's some type of uh, sanctuary that we can kind of provide for like, hey, everything else going on in the world, that doesn't matter right now. We're here together and it's going to be okay.
I love that. I love it. Thank you so much, Lzzy. This has
You're
been
welcome.
truly an honor for me. I really appreciate you taking the time and meeting with me and chatting. And we can't wait to see you live on Wednesday, August 12th, opening up for
Yes.
Rainey Wilson. Also, I don't know if you know that night, but it's also the Buffalo Chips Daredevil nights. So they do all of these crazy stunts in the amphitheater, like right before you guys go on stage. Like there's bikes jumping over things. There's people running through like walls of fire. There's a guy that walks on a tightrope all the way across the amphitheater. Like
Oh
it's
my
a
God.
gnarly night, and they've been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years, and it gets bigger and better every Wednesday, every year for the rally. So you have to follow that. Just
Okay, that is insane. You just reignited my excitement. I'm like, all right, that is where I'm gonna be. That is
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
So I appreciate your time, Lzzy Hale. Ladies and gentlemen, Lzzy Hale of Halestorm. You can catch her live Wednesday, August 12th at the legendary Buffalo Chip, the best party anywhere. Thank you, Lzzy.
Oh, thank you so much, darling. Appreciate it. Hey, everybody, it's Lzzy Hale from Halestorm, and you are listening to Buffalo Chip Radio right here on Real Rock 100.3, The Fox. Love you guys.